Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could really shake things up in the NFC South and beyond. It's been swirling around for a little while, but the latest intel suggests that the Atlanta Falcons are in serious talks to acquire Jaire Alexander from the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, you heard that right. Alexander, a guy many consider a shutdown corner when healthy, could be heading to Atlanta, and that could be a game changer for our secondary. Let's dive into what makes this rumor so compelling. The Packers, sitting at 9-3-1, are in a strong position this season, but they've got some salary cap challenges, especially with extensions for key receivers like Christian Watson and others. They're also looking to free up some cap space, around $18 million, to focus on bolstering their offensive line and other areas. Trading Alexander, who's been a cornerstone in their secondary, would give them that cap relief and help them prioritize their draft strategy moving forward. On the other hand, the Falcons, currently sitting at 4-9, have had a roller coaster of a season. Their secondary was hit hard early on, especially with the injury to A.J. Terrell, who's been sidelined since November with a calf injury that put him on IR. Terrell's absence has left our pass defense vulnerable, especially against high-caliber NFC South receivers. Bringing in Alexander would be like adding a ghostly presence in coverage, an elite ball hawk who can shadow the best receivers and create turnovers. This move wouldn't just be a patch. It would be a statement that Atlanta is serious about tightening up that secondary and making a run in the second half of the season and into the playoffs. Now, let's talk about Alexander himself. Guy S. got a profile that screams top-tier shutdown corner. Limited in 2025, he's played just 2 games so far, but in those appearances, he's managed to rack up 4 solo tackles, 1 assist, and 5 combined tackles, showing flashes of his playmaking ability. There's talk that he might have been traded mid-season to Baltimore, but that's still speculation, nothing official yet. His PFF coverage grade stands at around 78, 4 with an overall grade of 76. 2, which is solid considering his injury setbacks. His career stats are impressive, over 244 solo tackles, 70 pass defenses, and 12 interceptions. His allowed passer rating is 76.5, and he's known for forcing incompletions, especially against elite receivers. His play style has often been compared to some of the best shutdown corners in the league, like a prime Jalen Ramsey with top 10 credentials. What makes Alexander so enticing for the Falcons? It's his ability to lock down receivers and make game-changing plays. His presence would elevate our entire secondary, turning it into a true lockdown unit that opponents would fear. Plus, with the Falcons' current draft needs and salary cap situation, acquiring a player of Alexander's caliber makes a lot of strategic sense. It's about balancing immediate impact with long-term planning. The team's defense has been improving but still needs that one extra piece to solidify its identity. Alexander could be that piece, a guy who can shadow the opponent's best WR and force mistakes, creating turnovers and giving our offense more opportunities. Speaking of the impact, let's paint a picture of what Alexander could bring to Atlanta. His addition would increase our coverage efficiency by over 25%, potentially leading to around 8 additional pass defenses per game. Opponents' passing yards could drop from an average of 240 yards down to about 190 yards per game, a significant boost in our pass defense. His ability to force turnovers would be a game changer, leading to an increase in turnovers by around 10, which is huge in today's NFL. Our pass defense rank could skyrocket from the current mid-tier to the top 5, making life much harder for NFC South opponents like the Bucs and Saints. Furthermore, with Terrell sidelined, the need for a lockdown corner has never been more urgent. Alexander's ball-hawking skills and coverage skills are exactly what we need to compensate for that absence. His presence would allow us to be more aggressive in coverage, knowing that we have a true shutdown guy on the outside. This would give our defensive coordinator more flexibility, especially on third downs where coverage and pressure are critical. His ability to elevate our secondary's performance could also translate into more wins, especially in close games where every turnover counts. Now, considering the bigger picture, How does this affect our Super Bowl chances? Well, with Alexander, the Falcons, odds of making a deep playoff run would see a substantial boost. The betting odds have already moved, with our chances of winning the Super Bowl jumping from around plus 15, 0 to plus 6, 0. That's a massive shift for a team still fighting to find its identity. The addition of a player like Alexander is seen as an X-factor, especially in the playoffs where elite defenses often make the difference. His knack for clutch plays and forcing turnovers could be the difference in tight postseason games. Think about it. Adding a top-tier corner like him might elevate the Falcons past defense from decent to elite, giving us a real shot at sneaking into the playoffs and making some noise once we're there. Of course, we have to consider the financial aspect. The trade would free up around $18 million in cap space and help our front office focus on strengthening the offensive line and other needs in the draft. It's a strategic move that aligns with our long-term goals of building a competitive roster without overspending on luxury positions. The Falcons have been drafting well, particularly on offense, but adding a player like Alexander would send a clear message. We're all in on competing now, not just rebuilding. From a historical perspective, Atlanta has always been known for its passionate fan base and the potential to contend when the pieces come together. This move, if it happens, would be a major step in that direction. It would show that the Falcons are willing to invest in the secondary and go all out for a playoff push. With the NFC South still wide open, especially after Tampa Bay's struggles, this could be the window Atlanta needs to challenge for the division title and beyond. The division is weaker than in years past, and with the right moves, the Falcons could position themselves as serious contenders. Looking ahead, the remaining schedule is crucial. If we can incorporate Alexander into that mix, especially against divisional rivals, our chances of clinching the division and making a deep run increase significantly. His presence would not only boost our defense statistically, but also psychologically, giving the team confidence that they can dominate on the back end. Our secondary would be the envy of many teams, and that kind of confidence translates directly into wins. The buzz around Alexander's potential move is building, and while nothing is finalized yet, the signs point to a real possibility. The Falcons' front office has shown that they're willing to be aggressive this season, and acquiring a player of Alexander's caliber would be a bold statement. It's about creating that elite defense that can take us all the way to the Super Bowl. When you combine our offensive weapons, like Bijan Robinson and Drake London, with a lockdown secondary led by Alexander, we're talking about a team that can compete with any of the best in the league. In conclusion, this potential trade isn't just about adding another player. It's about transforming the identity of the Falcons' defense and giving us a real shot at the postseason. The move makes strategic sense from a cap perspective, fits our timeline, and could be the missing piece in our puzzle. If it happens, it will be remembered as one of those moves that defined the era and set the stage for a possible Super Bowl run. The Atlanta Falcons are on the brink of something big, and Alexander could be the catalyst that pushes us over the edge. It's an exciting time to be a Falcons fan, and we'll be watching closely to see how this story unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Alexander could be the game changer we need? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This season might be shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, especially if we can pull off something like this. So, keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's see how this story develops. Go Falcons!